We are here with Professor Robin Saunders, Director of Graduate Programs in Communications and Information Management at Bay Path University in Longmeadow. And when we have questions to do with the internet, with personal computers, you are our go-to person. Last time you were here with us, you said to me, sometime we ought to talk about spyware. And I thought, that's a good idea. Well, within the next couple of days, I saw a big news story about spyware. I had a strange incident myself on my work computer, and I said, that was a real good idea. Here you are. So glad to have you. Before I ask you anything else, give us a little definition. What are we talking about when we say spyware?
Well, spyware is much more prevalent than you think it is. And what it is a little software program, a little sneaky software program that gets installed behind your back, keeps a low profile, and does its little nasty business. And what it does is it comes in as a piggyback on some desirable piece of software, either desirable piece of software that you want or disguising itself as something that you absolutely need, like a new web accelerator. The thing to always remember is that you can be smarter than your smart devices. The only information that can be collected on you from these smart devices is information that you put out there.
Is it fair to say that most of us, without even knowing it, probably have on the home or office computer, on our pad, our phone, whatever, probably have some spyware we're not even aware of?
Well, the National Cybersecurity Alliance did a study, and what they found was that there are approximately, they estimated, about 100 to 150 million computers that are infected with spyware. And probably the most disturbing statistic was that 69% of those computers were found in households where there were children under the age of 18. So it's out there. And what they did was they put it into categories. They categorized it from kind of the mundane adware that basically just keeps track of what your browsing habits are to send you appropriate ads, to software that could basically control your computer. And they divided it into 3 different categories. 15% of the spyware out there is considered to be the most severe. And that's spyware that you download that are something called keyloggers that can basically log every keystroke that you make on your computer so that it can translate that into passwords and financial information that it then sends to a third party that does something bad with it. About 25% of it is considered to be moderately severe, and the moderately severe are things that gather information about you, your name, not so much your browsing history, but your name, what the software versions are on your computer, what the IP address is on your computer, so that they can actually send other things to possibly do something with that information. And 60% of it is what's considered to be less severe. And that's the type of thing that we all see, the adware, where it's really looking at your keywords, it's looking at where you go in your browsing history in order to send you ads that it thinks you want. It's very, very complex because these are such sneaky little programs. They can be easily downloaded and you don't even know it. Who doesn't want to go to a site that says, free coupons for 20% off at your most wonderful shopping center or your shopping department store? Once you click on that, many of those little pop-ups or ads are designed to download the spyware onto your computer and do all of these kind of catastrophic things.
Perhaps the most frightening thing I've heard of, the cases where, and you mentioned homes with young kids, with teenagers, who often live on the web and are in touch with friends all the time and maybe all over the country and on camera with them. There is spyware, I gather, it's spyware, that can take over that computer and control that camera even when you think your computer is, when it is off, in fact, but you're still being watched.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, there is spyware that's designed to do that. And as I said, the scariest thing is that 69% of the spyware was on computers in households when kids were under the age of 18. If you let somebody who you don't know use your computer, that's probably one of the most dangerous things that you can do because you don't know where they're going. The one thing that I do at home is I put a little piece of tape over the camera on my computer, and I would caution anybody to do that. If you think you might have spyware on your computer, then guard against it.
You mentioned that the spyware goes in, it's collecting information about our web habits, our account numbers, that's banking info, that's credit card accounts perhaps. I mean, literally, you can be robbed blind.
Oh, you can. You can. If you click on the wrong pop-up, if you download the wrong piece of free software. How many people out there download these free games? People love to play these free computer games. Most of them contain spyware. If you're going to be downloading a free program or a program that you absolutely think you need, do a Google search to see if in fact that program has been associated with spyware, because there is an ever-growing list of programs that are out there that do contain this kind of malware. And it's very, very scary. It's a growing market. It's a very lucrative market. People are making money off of this spyware.
One of the things you said to me when you came in and sat down before we started taping is, be sure you ask me about smart TVs. Smart TVs. Oh. There you go.
Smart TVs are a bit of a hazard, but still remember, you can be smarter than your smart device. Unfortunately, smart TVs are connected to the internet, and anything that's connected to the internet could conceivably download spyware or capture things about you. If you are at all concerned about what your smart TV is capturing, unplug it. Make it a dumb TV. Get it off of the internet. But unfortunately, what happens is that most of these smart TV manufacturers set the privacy settings. The default is that you're not private. The default is that they can collect information on you. So read your software agreement, read the agreement very, very carefully on that smart TV. Go into the settings and change them so that your privacy is not being put out there on the internet, so that they aren't collecting things on you that they shouldn't be collecting and that you don't want them to collect.
Okay, you've talked about a couple of the easy, obvious, but quite often undone things. Read the fine print. Put a piece of tape over the camera. Maybe you literally unhook from the internet when you're not on and using. What are some of the other things we can watch for to protect ourselves that maybe can warn us we've got an infection, we've got a problem, we've got spyware?
If you all of a sudden find your computer slowing down, or you get a message that says your hard drive is filling up, or you look and your security software has been disabled, if all of a sudden your browser bar is totally different and you have a different tool set, those are all things that can let you know that you possibly have spyware installed. Now, let's not forget about smartphones, because smartphones are not immune to this either. If all of a sudden your data usage goes way up and your battery life goes way down, start thinking that somebody may have installed some sort of spyware on your smartphone. If that's the case on a smartphone, the best thing to do is to back up your data and do a hard reset on the device to get rid of anything that's there. If it's a home computer, what you can do is to look for those telltale signs. And I guess the advice that I would give to people, if a site looks like it's unfamiliar, if it looks like it's unseemly, don't go there. Don't click on emails that you don't know who they've come from. Don't click on pop-ups that are not familiar to you. Don't download free programs. And if you do, there are software packages out there that can help you, but be wary of them as well. Search the internet, find out where the good programs are that can help you get rid of this spyware, but be a smart consumer.
Good advice. Professor Robin Saunders, Bay Path University, thanks as always for coming in.
Thank you for inviting me.